What's good, YouTube? Back with another one. Before we get into it, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my new channel. I've been posting all the Instagram live videos on the new channel. So if you're not already tapped in, make sure you go tap in right now. Link will be in the description box. But let's get right into it, man. Let me know in the comment section if you remember when Brampton, Mississauga used to be a good, nice community. All the people from Toronto that made a lot of money, they would move to Mississauga, move to Brampton to get out the hood. Who remembers that? And you know niggas can't have nothing good for too long. One man dies in hospital after triple shooting in Mississauga. Police. One of 3 people shot and injured at a large gathering in Mississauga on Friday night has died in hospital, police say. Just after 8 p.m., police were called on Hull Street near Airport and Derry Roads for reports of shots fired. When officers arrived, they located 3 victims with gunshot wounds. 2 of the victims were rushed to a trauma center, while 1 was taken to a local hospital. All 3 are in serious condition. On Saturday morning, police said a man died of his injuries in hospital. The Homicide and Missing Persons Bureau has now taken over the investigation. Investigators urge anyone who was at the gathering or driving nearby with a dashboard camera active at the time of the incident to contact them. But yeah, man, just a regular Mississauga is getting turned up, man. You niggas, man, let it go, man. Kill off each other. Just leave innocent people alone. That's all I gotta say, man.
Are we waiting?
So what can you tell us happened here today?
So today at approximately 8 p.m. we received multiple phone calls for disturbance in the area of Hull Street and Scarborough Street in the city of Mississauga. Alongside those reports, all the callers had heard multiple gunshots in the area. Police arrived and located 3 victims with apparent gunshot wounds. Police rendered first aid, waited for Peel paramedics to take over. 2 of the victims have been transported to a trauma center. 1 of the victims has been transported to a local hospital. At this time, we're trying to appeal for as many witnesses as possible. We do understand that there was a large gathering. At this point, we don't know if they fled on foot or if they fled in a vehicle. So it's very crucial to understand what had transpired here first to see what the events, how they unfolded. So anyone with any information is asked to call Crime Stoppers anonymously, or even calling our 12th Division Criminal Investigation Bureau at this time to help us understand what had transpired here today.
What can you tell us about this large gathering? Was it a party? Was it outside? Was it inside? How many people were there?
So at this time, we don't have the specific numbers of how many people were here. We do know it was a large gathering. Alongside with how many shots were fired, we can't get the specifics yet. We just know there were several. We are still trying to determine how many people were here. So any appeal to witnesses, anybody in the area heard anything prior, during, or even after the incident, so urged to call Crime Stoppers.
Was the gathering along Hull Street itself, or was it a little bit off Hull Street? Exactly where was that gathering?
So from the reports that we had gotten, it was on Hull Street, and at that point the parties had dispersed after hearing multiple gunshots.
I understand there was a vehicle, possibly a Honda CRV, that had multiple bullet holes. Were the victims inside that when they were shot? And then when you guys found them, were they outside of that vehicle? Can you describe that part of the investigation?
So that I could not speak to. When the police officers had located the victims with the gunshots, they were outside. So as in for the vehicle, we don't know if that was involved as of yet, but we are investigating that aspect of it. Right now, the integrity of the investigation is just amongst us right now, and we understand what's going on, so we're just trying to figure out what's going on.
Can you speak to the size of the scene? It's several blocks here in terms of where this initially occurred, where the gathering was, and then where this vehicle ended up, or where the people were found?
That's correct. So we're just closing out the scene just due to the fact that we understand it was a large gathering. We don't know how many people were involved, so which way that they had dispersed or which way they were going. Right now, as you can see, our forensic officers are on scene trying to collect as much as evidence on scene. So that's why we have a bigger perimeter to make sure to figure out what we can collect as evidence during this investigation.
You mentioned 2 people have been taken to hospital. Do you have an up-to-date condition on either of them?
Both the trauma center victims are in serious condition, and alongside with the person that's been transported to the local hospital as well.
So all 3 in serious condition, right?
Correct.
Was a gun recovered at the scene? We had heard that.
That I can't confirm as well right now, just because our forensic team is on there on scene investigating, just collecting as much as they can.
What can you tell us about age and gender, even? On
That
this
I don't
screen?
have the specifics of, to be honest with you right now, just due to the fact that we're just treating medically the victims in the scene right now, and just making sure that they're treated medically before we start speaking to them.
Okay, so we can't even say if they're men or women at this point?
At this point, no.
Has homicide been notified of this? I mean, the one victim was not breathing when they left the scene. So,
That I cannot speak to. I know they were transported in serious condition to the trauma center.
so you don't know that they weren't breathing, or one of them wasn't breathing?
I cannot confirm that.
You mentioned this large gathering, and you're looking for people who might have left. Were there people who stayed?
That's what we're appealing for now. So if anybody was walking in the area or even understood what was going on here, if they saw before the altercation happened or even during or even afterwards, who they saw people disperse in which direction, that's what we're appealing for. Even if they have surveillance footage, dash cam footage, or anything that can help us, that appreciate it.
But are you